Hey guys, HotRod08 here, and welcome to today's Challenger VOD review video. Today we are going to be watching our Draven, Jug face against Aphelios in the bot lane. And matching those two will be Thresh on the Draven side versus a Tahm Kench on the Aphelios side. Now, before we get into the rest of this game, if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like and comment below if you have any comments to put, and if you end up liking these VOD type of reviews of Challenger gameplays, feel free to subscribe to this channel too, as I'd love to see your support and see you back on these videos. Now back to this game. Looks like that they are basically trying to catch up this Tahm Kench. I don't really see that going too far. Kindred might get a little bit of damage on Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench is probably going to have to base in order to get his health back, but nothing really else came out of that. Other matchups in this game, we have Lissandra versus Aatrox in the mid lane, Kindred versus Silas in the jungle, and then finally Mordekaiser versus Wukong in the top lane. Neither team has what I would consider a true tank. Maybe Tahm Kench and Thresh are kind of what you would consider if they're still on a support amount of money, so they don't exactly count for being a full tank. So, not too much frontline on both sides, more brute sides. Looks like they're going to be able to catch out that Aphelios, and Draven actually gets that kill, with Kindred getting the second kill. That's going to be pretty brutal, honestly, for the blue side of this game, considering in this bot lane, Draven and Thresh are really going to be looking to be aggressive, since Draven's going to fall off pretty early if he doesn't get snowballing and he doesn't carry his lead, and whereas Aphelios is going to be a scaling monster. So Draven already getting that early kill is really going to put a lot of pressure on Aphelios not getting caught out or not dying to the harass that, you know, is inevitably going to be coming. Now, with Aphelios having his range gun early in the game, though, he does have to, Draven has to worry about a little bit of poke coming from getting out range. Looks like we're going to be able to get a lot of damage on this Tahm Kench, though. Really, Tahm Kench isn't going to be able to do much early in this lane, rather than keep Aphelios alive if he gets caught by swallowing him up. But if Tahm Kench himself gets caught, there's not much he's going to be able to do in order to heal himself, rather than to flash out of the way. Not exactly the most reliable way to do it. Silas being in the jungle on the enemy side, probably not really worrying about level 2 or level 3 gank by any means, why they're probably pretty far in this lane, as well as Kindred has that mark in the top side of the enemy's jungle, so Silas might be headed towards that mark to try to stop that. Nevertheless, looks like Kindred is still getting that mark. I do believe she ended up getting that and is leading at the point. At the moment, they don't really know where Silas is. At the moment, he most likely is on the bomb side, just because he didn't show up on the top side of the map, so they will have to be a little bit careful for any type of ganks in the bot side. But as long as that doesn't happen, this should be a pretty easy bot lane. Yet again, it looks like they're probably going to pick out Tahm Kench. She ended up getting that flash out of there. So, Tahm Kench is going to be very vulnerable until about the 9-minute mark in this game, when that comes back up, especially if he gets hooked. So this is a pretty brutal lane, honestly, for this Aphelios, who is already, it looks like, about 10 CS behind. He does have a few to catch up in this wave to get all of them, but nevertheless, he is going to be pretty far behind, even if he does get all of the CS. Still haven't seen the Silas anywhere on the map just yet. He might be right on top of the Mordekaiser, might be. So Silas is actually, I do believe, on the top side of the map, which gives absolute free reign for these guys to just keep picking On this bot side, Aphelios is hooked, but that's the one benefit of having the Tahm Kench is to be able to swallow from that hook. Nevertheless, didn't make a difference there. Thresh did use his Ignite in order to get that damage off and did get the kill. So Aphelios is going to be 0-2, and also you have the added benefit of Aphelios is going to be missing that CS in the bot lane, so Draven is 47 at the moment, while Aphelios is 28, pretty far behind, and Draven's already got that kill from earlier, so he is going to be able to get at least something decent coming back. Actually ends up going for the Tear of Goss and a Serrated Dirk, which is an interesting combination. Of Serrated Dirk's going to add some nice attack damage and lethality, while the Tear is going to be able to give him some mana, extra mana in the lane to really spam out those abilities and continue poking and willing down the enemies. I'm assuming he's going to be turning that into a Mana Moon at some point. It's a really good early game item for Draven. It's a nice early power spike, even though it doesn't scale too well. But Draven is all about that early game, so it does make sense. Whereas Aphelios only got a pickaxe, which is not going to be the equal damage by any means compared to a Serrated Dirk in a tier. And Draven is already at, looks like 144 stacks more of his passive, and he's doing a really good job of continuing to get those passive stacks up. So if he does get killed, he is going to get himself currently about $320 gold extra payday at this point. So he's got to be really careful to not die with that, and also enemies got to be careful not give it to Draven. I see he's just going to snowball out of proportions if he does indeed get that extra gold. Looks like Thresh is coming behind. They know that they are missing hooks and stuff. Tahm Kench definitely doesn't have a hook. Was able to get out of that, though. Ooh, and ends up giving that kill to the Thresh. If we went back, I'm assuming he just took too many tower shots there. Actually, I do kind of want to go back on that, see how that exactly played out. Let's see. Might be a little bit farther back than I want it to be. I want to kind of go over slow on this, how this exactly plays out. Because they get the hook on Aphelios. Tahm Kench was able to get that swallowed quickly. He was able to swallow that shield to get that damage up. And yeah, you can see that Thresh is just taking too many turret shots at that point, and he's just not able to handle it. So they went a little bit too aggressive in that lane. The good news here, though, is that Draven didn't die, so he's still got his 167 stack at the moment. So that's really one of the main points, although it does give Aphelios a way back into this game that he didn't really have. Kindred does have ult, doesn't have to worry about that. They went too far forward. Draven ended up getting ult. Yeah, they went way too far forward that, and even though Draven ends up dying there, probably giving a little bit of shutdown gold just because he just got those 2 kills in a row. Draven is looking like 900 gold ahead of his lane opponent, and he ended up buying that entire Mana Moon going back to lane, so he's going to have a lot of damage coming out of that. So overall, I would say, even though Aphelios 3-3 and Draven's 3-1, I think Draven is the winner of that fight, especially since Aphelios only was able to get a BF sword out of that. So Draven's still going to have this really early game power spike out that he actually got his boots from his runes, so he actually does have that extra movement speed too. So if he's able to continue this domination early, he's going to be able to really put a hurting in these fights, and they really should have an easy time zoning them off this wave. As you can see, Draven here is freezing And it's going to be a pretty easy freeze, too, with the cannon still being there. You can see Draven is being patient. Kindred was going for the gank there, which would have really helped. That's why they probably did freeze. Draven tends to like push, though, so he's probably going to be pushing pretty soon in order to start continuing to get the turret gold of the enemies, considering they have the 2 control wards pretty deep into the enemy jungle at the moment, honestly. Yeah, you can see he's just going to keep getting his passive stacks. Zoning him off just a little bit. This freeze isn't going to hold any longer, so you might as well just push it. They still don't see Silas around at the moment. Again, they have pretty good vision around the map, though, so that doesn't particularly matter all that much. He's going to get his free 4 stacks right there. Just off 1 minion. That ult going to the Aatrox, I'm assuming, in the mid lane. Doesn't quite get the damage off on him. Didn't really look like Aatrox was too low on health anyway, so I'm surprised he ended up throwing that ult down. His ult's gonna probably not be up for another minute at the very least, so they will have to be a little careful on this bot side without a little bit of assistance. They might still be able to win the overall all-in, even with his ult being down, if they get the right catch with Thresh, but he's probably just going to be waiting for his ult to come up to have that tool in order to really be trying to push for these kills, nevertheless. Looks like Aphelios and Tom Kentra are going to be getting these prugs on the bot side of their jungle. If you look at the mini-map, so they probably got a little bit of extra gold there. Thresh Lantern's really making it nice to get the extra harass pretty safely, though, since they don't fully know where Silas is. They still have to be a little bit careful on this. Thresh hook, try to go out, failed hook, so it's going to be a little bit less pressure until that does come back up. Aphelios is going to have that free reign to CS. Draven still is ahead on that, though, being looks like 19 CS, 20 CS up, so a pretty good difference between the CS alone. He's probably a kill up. I do believe it's about 21 CS on average to be up on that. Tom Kentra's flash is up. That doesn't matter. They're able to get that kill on the Aphelios. A lot of gold coming in. For that, sent the Draven ult out in order to stop his recall. If he tried, he's probably going to be pretty screwed, to say the very least. Draven, yet another kill there. 5, 1, and 2. Ended up getting a good amount of gold from his stacks, too. I do believe he had about at least 100 stacks built up, so he got an extra 200 kill or gold off that first kill. Another plate, and they're going to be able to get this Drake, too. So he is going to be in an absolutely fantastic position. Be curious to see what he ends up buying on his way back. Aphelios did get the IE, which isn't the absolute worst item in the world. He ended up getting Sanguine Blade for the AD and Lifesteal, though along with extra lethality on that when you are alone, which is an interesting item on Draven. I didn't know that was a thing that Dravens did, but I could see, especially in those one-on-one situations, it being really good, as well as it is I think the main benefit of it is lifesteal and lethality combined, so Draven isn't going for any scaling build by any means. Otherwise he'd be going for the crit. Instead he's going for that absolute early game dominance with lethality, and he did get another Serrated Dirk on top of that, so he does have 1.5 lethality items at this point. Any one-on-ones with a squishy target is probably going to go in the Draven's way at the moment, considering how far ahead he is, and he feels safe enough just to attack this on his own. He doesn't exactly know where anyone is. Looks like Aphelios is in the top side in that skirmish, but Draven's going to get that tower gold and all the plates all to himself, even more gold, and just right before that 14-minute mark too, so the tower playing Demon Fall. He has 59 stacks at this point, so he's really just piling up that gold. The lethality is doing really well on being able to last hit any of these minions, and that was actually honestly really satisfying to watch the E through all of those little krugs. I don't know what you call them when they are mini-sized, but Draven feels like he needs to go to this mid lane. It looks like Tom Kendrick, at least one other person, is in the mid lane, so he's going to catch them here. And Aphelios goes both the 80s there. Aphelios was able to get a couple kills. He was 3-4 last I saw. Now he is, after getting another kill, 6-4. So even though Draven's really doing well in the laning phase, and overall you'd say Draven did win the laning phase, Aphelios still will outscale the Draven. And Aphelios is not doing too bad in gold himself. He is 1.5k behind the Draven at this moment, but the Aphelios is the highest gold on the blue team, just barely above that Wukong at this point. So if blue side can hold on long enough for Aphelios to scale, it is going to be their win condition, whereas this Draven snowballing this game is going to be the red side's win condition until Kindred gets online. Essentially, that'll be the super late game option if they need it. It looks like fights are going on the top side. Draven is really just focusing on those objectives still. I do say the objectives are definitely better than the kills by themselves, and Draven understands that, so he's getting that map pressure with getting those kills. So he should be going back at this point. I would assume he might have enough money in order to work on getting more for that serrated Dirk. We'll see what he ends up buying. He has 2k gold ahead of his opponent. He actually ended up getting Ninja Tabby, apparently, and Caulfield's Warhammer, so he is going to be going probably Duskblade next as his main item, but he did get that Ninja Tabby, most likely for the Wukong, Aatrox, and Aphelios damage that can come through. And that Wukong is building a little bit of lethality, so that little bit of extra armor will keep him alive. And he doesn't really need the attack speed between his items and his passive. He doesn't really need any more in order to be truly effective. Draven able to get a kill there, with Tom Kench being able to spam out and flash away himself. Thresh with a great hook there. Draven with another kill. Kindred keeping them alive, and he is going to go out with his lifesteal, almost full health again, and another 2 kills under his belt. So he is going to be an absolute monster in these games. I really want to see a full-fledged 5-on-5 fight with him. Draven almost 3k gold above his AD opponent, even though his AD opponent is 6-4 himself, which just goes to show how far ahead Draven is at this point, feeling like yet again he can go back and get another purchase. Probably going to get that Duskblade at this point. Yep, and another Serrated Dirk. Man, he has a lot of cash. Right now he's got 2.5 lethality items, and then that full Manamir Moon is upgraded. So he is going to be a monster. He's got 329 AD at the 18-minute mark with all the lethality that he could almost ever want. You can see that Q just took a third of Aatrox's health, so you can see that he is just an absolute beast at the moment. It will be the team's job in order to keep him alive. He is going to be the carry condition for the red team for a long while until we do get to the super late game where Kendrick might need to take over. Silas is going to die by that one axe, doesn't have any tankiness. Whereas that Q is going to be more than enough damage for him. Fight's still going on. Draven didn't really feel like he needed to rush towards it, though. Just getting more stacks and clearing out the vision. And I'm going to be going for this objective. I do enjoy that Draven does know to when to focus on those objectives as opposed to just chasing kills that I would say a typical Draven might be known for. Another tower down. And that's going to be a pretty easy one. Eventually, someone on the team needs to focus on the top side. That's the only turret that is still left for the enemy's side, but they'll be working on that most likely sooner than later. Looks like we're starting to get caught out, and Draven's gonna have to try to carry this one. Probably gonna end up dying here. Yep, ends up falling down. I would say Draven made the mistake of trying to really go back into that fight. If someone else gets caught out, sometimes you just have to know when to back out, because someone ended up getting that 1,000 gold shut down on the Draven. I didn't catch exactly who got that. Whoever did end up getting that is going to have a nice payday for that Draven, as well as I'm not sure if he ended up getting a kill, so he might have lost his whatever stacks he had at the moment. He did upgrade into Edge of Night though, so now he's got the three completed lethality items. Aphelios is only 1.8k gold behind now though. So he is becoming a monster himself. He's got his 3 crit items between Infinity Edge, Runins, and Phantom, so he's going to be doing rather well himself. So the days of Draven being the main AD carry are going to be starting to fall down sooner than later. But we'll see if Aphelios is able to carry the same weight, being 8-4 and 3 compared to our 8-2 and 4 Draven. Moving on, our team, whenever Drake does come up, is going to be really looking for that. That's honestly the most important objective for them, to get that soul, considering they have 3 Drakes already at this point. Only need the 1 more in order to complete that soul. Right now, they're just going to play it a little bit chill, though. Our bot lane is, our minions are gradually pushing towards the enemy side, though, so they don't have to be worrying about catching that, since that's going to be moving towards the enemy side. Top lane, I was about to say someone needed to catch that at some point, though. Since that was pushing to us, really, if they're waiting for objectives to come up, they need all the outer lanes to be pushing. And they really need that top tower to be gone, too. It's going to be kind of hard to get that Baron control with our tower missing and their tower still up. So that needs to be another objective they're thinking about. Fun thing about any AD carry, though, is you're not exactly the one that's controlling the entire flow of the game, just because no matter how far you are in the game, you still tend to be a squishy target, and he needs the rest of this team to be here in order to do these fights without dying. Thresh really coming in nicely for that lantern to save him. Without the lantern, I'm pretty sure our Draven would have been dead there, so that was a good save on support side. Probably going to be able to get a kill here. Pretty low on health, though. He still does have life steal if he's able to get Aphelios, being that monster he is at the moment, though. Is going to be playing a little bit better cleanup crew at the moment, just because how low damage Draven is. He is going to be able to get a little bit of life steal back. There you go. At least gained half of his health back from that, so he'll be healthy to go back into these fights, especially after these minions, who should be right back up to full health. He is pretty easily. Drake is coming up within the next 30 seconds or so. I wish they did have a timer up to show the audience when that is going to be coming up. Nevertheless, that is on the map now. It is live. Draven is going to be pushing out this mid lane in order to get pressure there, and then he'll be going right back to this Drake side to be attempting to stop this. Clear out the ward as much as they can. Silas took Mordekaiser's ult. We'll see if they're able to do anything over that. Wukong's pretty easy death there. Kindred able to take the Drake. They do have the soul at this point active for this fight too. Silas, I'm be surprised if he ends up living for this one. Actually gets the sustain up from attacking in order to keep alive. Silas just about got on top of our Draven. Draven ends up getting another kill, though. The only person left on the blue side of the map is that Tahm Kench, which isn't going to be doing too much on its own. Looks like Lissandra is going to be getting that tower on the bot side. Tahm Kench is still staying there, which he's not going to be able to do too much. Probably can't get the Baron at the moment without some help, so they're going to at least push out this mid lane. They might decide to turn to the Baron. Turns out they're not going to. There is a teleport coming in from behind. They do shoo the enemies to go away. Lissandra still is getting caught out by, oh, it was Tahm Kench that got him. So it's Tahm Kench coming in for that kill. Actually, Aatrox did use this teleport. So it was the Aatrox using the teleport and then the Tahm Kench to join. So that's how that played out. So they did get the kill on Lissandra. They are just going to have to chill a little bit to make sure no one else gets caught. If anyone else gets caught, it's going to be essentially a free Baron for the blue side. So Red needs to be playing with the mindset of not getting caught out, while at the same time not being too far away in order to not be able to stop the Baron. If they stopped it, the enemy team got a terrible initiation, though. Failed to really get on any prime targets. Draven ended up just getting 3 kills here. Massive for the red team. Another kill from the Lissandra being able to catch up. A nice 0 for 5 for our team. No deaths. I should probably say 5 for 0 in order to be technically correct. 5 for 0. Looks like Draven and Lissandra are going to be going for the tower while the other 3 are currently trying to do the Baron. I'm not sure if they needed to do a split call like this. I guess without everyone there, they decided that they didn't have that pressure in order to close the game. Hopefully, I was about to say, hopefully they're being able to do that Baron easily, but with the Kindred AD carry, that should still be a pretty easy Baron for them, and they ended up getting that Baron buff is up. Draven is going to be going back to base. Let's see. And he actually ended up selling his Ninja Tabby for Randuin's Omen. So he's not going to be running as fast, but he does have a considerable higher amount of armor at the moment with that item, as well as minus on the crits that he's going to take from the Aphelios. So he's going to be a tanky boy, even if he's not as fast. He does have his W for his move past speed, so he is absolutely maxed out on 6 items. Doesn't even need boots anymore, so he is a terror. He ended up also getting a Trinity Force at some point. I do believe he probably sold an item to fill that in too. I'm trying to see when the gold disappears what he got rid of in order to do that, or if he was just able to fit that in. Let's see, he's still got his 3 lethality items. He got his armor item for his boots, mirror mana. So he was just able to fit that in. So between the Trinity Force and all the lethality, his one-shot ability with using any of his abilities is going to be a lot of damage. Wukong trying to get behind, but doesn't realize that Draven has so much armor. Literally, Wukong did nothing, even though he was 9 and 5. That armor really helping there. I liked his idea of trying to assassinate Draven. It was a good idea. It just wasn't strong enough in order to be able to actually pull it off. With 4 people down on the enemy team, though, Tahm Kench somehow yet alive. Again, after that, that's going to be a pretty easy finish here. They're going to probably dick around and attempt to kill the Tahm Kench. They do get the hook, and yeah, another kill for our Draven. So that's going to be it for this game. Draven ended up having a considerable amount of kills, was really able to pull through that game, and I did also enjoy his item pathing. I think he did a pretty good job with looking at the enemy team, realizing there wasn't like too many tanks, knew lethality was going to do a good job of damage, and itemized for that, and even was able to gain enough gold where he was able to get 6 full items without even boots, and still being able to like survive a Wukong assassination directly on him just because of all that armor. Around that, thank you very much for joining this VOD review. I hope you got something out of it, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks much.